Tov Resh Pei Gimel. That's where we're at. We're on number Gimel on the, there's a bracketed Gimel there, where it says, Hey Elor, this Ater, and he's got this word is Ater again. Baruch de Nukva de Pardashka. He means in the openings of the Nukvin, it's pronounced with the nostrils, the Pardashka, the openings of the nose. So he said, "V'bir hemshech ha'mamayim b'chasifra d'tzniut takan." He says what it had said there is that the Hey Law, this Adar Barucha the Nukva the Padashka, somehow it crowns, it's up above in some way, the Rucha, this Rucha the Nukva the Padashka that comes out of the nostrils. Now we're talking here about Erich Anpin. The Fi Arizal should is boyer on Fiha Eitz Chaim, Shar Ruach HaKodesh, of Rabbi Shah HaKdamos, all these places. HaKdamos, the Os Hei Lo who Etzem Nekev Achotim. The Hey is actually, now what does Etzem mean? It means the Penemius, so it's built on, or something like that. The nekev of the chotem, the opening, which is the nose. The nekev of chotem, who amisadar beruach. So what it is that the opening. So he says the nekev, the hole, or he's got it in kind of like singular. Who misadar beruach elyon. What it does is that it crowns over, covers over, or caps. Maybe caps is the right way. Right word, if Ater Ruach Elyon, this upper Ruach, the over Benikve Chachotim that now goes through the nostrils of the nose. And it comes, where does it come from? It comes from, the Keser has 10 spheros, it comes from the Bina of that Keser. So now we go to number Bet. Reba Or Yakar, look over there at the Or Yakar. The Or Yakar says, Shabir Khan, the Os Hey Elyon, Hu Bina Elyona. What is it actually? Let's see these words. Shabir Khan, the Os Hey Elyon. So the original A. I don't know what he means exactly, but the Penemius, the Penemius of the Hey is the Bina El, is the upper Bina. So we're working Bina a little bit from the two different things we've seen here. He said, the Heider of Metzach der Erich Anpin. So he says, what is Bina? He says, Bina is the place where you find the forehead of Erich Anpin. V'hi misateres berucha, and it is crowned with the Ruach HaYotzef Memochas Limo. So just get a little reading on that again. He says it's the Penimis, it comes from the Bina Elyona. The Os Hey behind the Rebbe Metzach the Erich Anpin. He says that the Metzach of Erich Anpin is where Bina is located. So he said, "V'hi misateres berucha," it winds up capping. You have to use that word for a minute for us to see misateres berucha. So it caps over, covers over a ruach that comes from the Mochas Limo. So that's what we've been talking about, is that somehow some area of the Mochas Limo allows for some minor amount of light to come out. And through the forehead, maybe from the forehead, but he says through the forehead, nimshach harucha ad nikve hachotem, until it reaches the nostrils of Erich Anpin, in order to later on bring Hiyus to Zer Anpin and the Nok Ayin Sham Rei Baharas Khan Beorech. Okay, so there is something here. We're going to look at that. So what it's saying like this is in other places in where we're looking at Ak, for example, the Maha Chodesh comes. He's saying like this: is the Maha Chodesh comes out of the Metzach of Ak. So considering that Ak is like a prototype or a template for what's going to come afterwards. So we see that actually the Metzach, he says, which is the source of the Metzach, is Bina. In Bina and Metzach, they go together, the Bina and Metzach. He says, but what comes out of it is going to be something related to Ma. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, but he says, and why? How do we hear that? Because Ma is also a concept called Ruach. So it could go like that, and so that is the Ruach, and somehow I'm thinking it has to do with that. I'm not sure anybody's going to say that. Let's look at the Pirush on that. Number Lamed Tes. Number Lamed Tes says, Reba Or Yaakov Sham V'Zach L'Shono. This is what he says. Hey Lord, is Ata Berucha. So now it's covering over in some way. So it covers over this Ruach. We talked about the openings in the nose. So going back over here, where is the real root of this? So even though we said like the Metzach is Bina, but the root of it really comes from the Chochma Shebeketzer, that sphere of Ketzer. Mochas Timor, and what is the Chochma Shebeketzer? It's the Mochas Timor. So Besod is Pashto Tikkunim HaChochma, that is the spread of the Tikkunim HaChochma. Alel Lemes Sham Ad Dikna, that is hidden there until it reaches the beard. Shehem Tikkunim Bina, which are the Tikkunim that come out from Bina. Shehi Sham Bedikna, which I guess maybe it means Psalm Bedikna, that is it Bina brings them into Dikna, places them into Dikna, into the beard. So where did this Ruach come from? It comes from this concept of Mocha, behind the Ruach Chochma Mamish. So it's a Ruach that comes out of Chochma Mamish. So there's a lot of different, well, let's say that's the very origin of this idea. So when we say that it's manifest in the forehead, which is Bina, what comes out of Bina, I know is Ma, but let's see how else it goes. Biyotza Derek of Bina Kedefrishna Na'el, and through Bina it comes out. V'nafikahu mucha chederechut la'achia, or to bring life. It goes wind up this mocha, this v'nafik rucha mimocha, from this mochas dimah. Derech chutma winds up going out through the nose of Erich Anpin. Because if it doesn't go out, then there's no kiyam to the tachton, the hainu v'od zer v'nuk, the frishna the ale, that is zer Anpin and the female counterpart, as mentioned. Ki ein zer b'yotze ein kiyam the tachtonim, the hainu zer v'nuk. Without this coming through the nostrils, there is no life force that's going to come down for Zohar V'no. So the hay itself is Bina itself. So therefore it says it covers over, or it crowns, again, it's covered over, or it hovers over, or something like that. This Ata Berucha, that it now covers over this Rucha. That's what's up. Because this is the essence of Bina, crowns Ba'osach Ruach Hachiyuni, this life force Ruach, which is coming, it says according to this, originally from the Chochma of Keser, which is the Mochas Timor, V'himesateres al Einin V'chutma, Shehem Shlosha Avos, and so he crowns it. It crowns over, that is the forehead, or Bina, which is in that place. It overlooks or overhangs or crowns on top of V'chutma Shehem Shloshos Avos. Now let me just get that again. Behemoth Sateris al Einin, there it is, the eyes, it's over, that is the forehead, is the brow up above the eyes. V'chutma, and also the nose. Shehem Shlosha Avos, and he says between them, the two eyes and the nose, I'm not sure how he gets three. He says that refers to the Avos, Chesed, Gevurah, and Tiferes. Kedefrishnun Le'el, apparently this is explained somewhere along the line. V'hi revia revutza al gabechem, so it hovers over them, so to speak. V'hi misateret b'chius hayotze, so it winds up being a crown. In other words, it's on top of b'chius, the life force, hayotze that's coming out of Chochmah, so deep inside of Erich Anpin is this river they called Chochmah, let's say, that has all this inspiration in it. So he's mispashed derech ba the shlosha elu, to these three. The hotzim osa mechutza, to take them out. Benukvin v'hapardashka, with the openings of the nose. The tzorach hanhagas atachtonim, for the purpose of running what's down below, the lower worlds. So he said, "V'rei gamba or yakar la'el." So look over here. Here's another place. So that was the Or Yakar. Okay, here's another place in the Or Yakar. V'zel d'shonim nishba de berdashka, that was blown out of the nose. Pirush haino nukfeh. Those are the nostrils. There are two of them, and he says that the nostrils are netzach and hod, which is the lower element of, I'm not sure, is part of the zat, of the lower part. He said the hasim is pashtusa the ibach besod hey, because there, at that place, the nostrils, he said, and that's hod, are spread. They represent the spread coming from imay law besod, the letter hey, kedefrishnu, as we explained. Imay law ad hod is pashetes. So we know, in generally speaking, that bina is on the left line. The left line goes all the way down to hod. So therefore, Erich. So first of all, he says that there's a yichud. There is a connection. This is male to male between Erich Anpin and ZOHAR Anpin. He's of Enum Ela al Pas. It can only come through. When he says Pas, means Al Yidei Osach Ruacham in the Shevisham, but it only comes about. That is the connection. He wants to say, instead of Yichud, got me a little thrown there because it's two males. But what he means to say is that it establishes a connection, Osach Ruacham in the Shevisham. So the only way that there's a connection, a flow directly from Erich Anpin to ZOHAR Anpin is through this ruach. V'nishboim ha'chayim derech osam v'nekavim, and it pours out life force through those openings. V'hamshachas ha'shefa the zera l'kach ba hey ben yud the yud. So he says that this is the metaphor that the flow of the shefa that's going to come to ZOHAR Anpin has to go through the letter hey. So therefore, the alachay ba hey bein yud the yud. So therefore, there's going to be a hey in between the two yuds. The horror shal yedera b'bina ima in law. So they said to teach you that through bina, of course, which is ima law, chutma amin the shevis derek vov mechamatzach. So just getting his words is a little bit. So he said lahoros, to teach that through bina, which he says is the metzach. Bad bina, imay law, which is also imay law here, chutma, that is there, it reaches the nose, I mean the shevis derek vov mahametzach, that really blows out through the letter vov into the metzach, vov from the metzach rather. Ayedech netzach and hod he misyachadim, and because of the netzach and hod, put them in the two nostrils of Erich Anpin. And that's of a hod he misyachadim, and that's how they get joined together. But that's not the main yichud. No? So he said because the upper ruach, the ruach hayim, the upper ruach, the panimis of this ruach, Yordim is lavshim besod nishmas ha'af. It comes down and it clothes itself and the secret of the neshama, which is the panemius of the nose, ha'elyon, the upper nose, the adam atachton, to ultimately to us. So it's worth reading one more time. He says that the ruach chaim elyonim, which we're talking about, this ruach is really coming originally from the chochmah of Keser, going down through the metzach, a mislavshim besod nishma sa'af, and it winds up into the panemius of the nose, elyon, la'adam betachton, and wind up coming down all the way down. Ketechsev, v'yipach ba'akpov, and you blew into his nose, in his nostrils, nishmas chaim. So he said, but look at this, the word is neshama vadai, mechavavina al yodesh bekezer, and where does this ultimately, the word neshama goes along with the word bina. So he said, dahainu, neshama, that is the panemius of vadai, mechavavina al yodesh, from the upper bina, shebekezer, gedechsev, so coming through that route, the nishmas shakai, no, this is a puzzle. It says in Eov, the nishmas, I got shakai tabinam. So tabina's lashon, the nashma, this shakai. Here I'm a little thrilled by that. The nishma is lashon bina. Then he says shakai, which usually means you sewed in some way or some transportation. Tavinam, that's how you're going to understand them. Elatachtonim, and you're going to bring them down. And tavinam also means bring them, like that. Elatachtonim. Nishmash Shaddai, what does that mean? It's sufficient. Sh'amal olam die. So it says it's always sufficient. V'yesh b'ra gavul. So die means that it has an end. It's enough, so it means it's a quantity. El Adam Elyon Neshama, so into that upper man that we're talking about here, I guess this is Erich Anpin. Neshama she'ein bo dai bilti bal tachlis, that there is no boundary. Bilti bal tachlis, it's unperceivable. Behind the soda atzmos mispashek misham, that is the real ultimate panemius that really gets spread down from there. Misnashe, he says mithnashev, or blows. What for the kiyum achiyus v'hanhagos and mitzius, the bechiyus, for the purpose of running reality, the reality that is created that we have. Shazulus and neshima chazot, because if it's not for this breath that's coming through this nose, that's coming, he says, from such a high place, and these different words for it, and the neshima chazot, chas v'sholom, ein mitzias, there is no reality, or nothing can be found. There is no physicality. The ZOHAR she'amar b'li ruach lo is kaim, that without this, it's not possible to continue. We have one more paragraph here. And it says like this, Re od b'or yakar l'cholon. So we're going to see that later on. This is the or yakar, 3 different places we're getting in the or yakar here. B'toch devarov, in the middle of what he's saying. One second. Okay, the best I can. V'zech she'amar b'ankiv b'trin nukvin. Now, this is, he takes this phrase, and he made a hole for Ankiv, between Nukvin, in the 2, I guess, the openings of the nose. V'yesh the daski inyan Ankiv. What's that all about? Mora she'en the kavim and the kuvim mo'ilim. That the original openings, Ankiv she'en nikveho or nikve, and the kuvim mo'ilim, it doesn't help. That is, I think he means to say it's not sufficient, which we just had that idea again, to bring out this ruach that needs to come out. But instead, it's making more openings. What does that mean? For so what blows derek hanikavim, through the nostrils of the nose of Erich Anpin, who sod rucho to kedefrishna the el, is the secret of that rucha that we've been talking about before. So what does this have to do with making more openings? Amnam is atrach of a rucha that it covers over, or it overcovers. It covers over, or it's on top of. As we said before, and because of the bridge, the passageway for the ruach, the ruach hachaim, hikdim ametzius. So it comes. Amakayim ametzius, which has the ability to sustain life. Mispashet bo sod ha'aras of bina al yona, through that pathway there is able to come out the ruach from a pneumistic place, a tremendously pneumistic place, inside of the skull of Erich Anpin, inside of the castor of Erich Anpin, shehi hamatzach. And what is that place? That place which origin is in the forehead. B'inyan sharababina he no keves v'yoredis, that the bina itself makes the opening, goes down derek on the shiva, the shiva harucha kedefrishna, through the. And how does it make this opening? Through the blowing of the air, or this ruach that's coming through the nose. So this way, it doesn't say for this reason that it makes an opening for the two nostrils, which he said before is Netzach and Hod. Ella betrin nokvim, but it says with the two openings, shehem nekuvim, because they're opened up. Besod hachotem she'ena rababina, through the nose move is not bina. Ela rababina hu no kevis, but what he means to say is like this: the nose is not bina, according to this Mandomer. He says she'ena rababina ela rababina he no kevis, but the bina has a way of opening up its own opening. Mispashetes agav rucha the nashiv, and that it spreads by way of this rucha that is blowing through it. Now that's a deep look over there. I'm sure there's a lot more to be said about that. So we're going to stop here and see what we can pick up